It's 2026 now, and so it's time for an updated tutorial for you on how to sign up for and use the free version of Asana, especially since there have been some pretty major updates. So in this video, I'll walk you through step by step exactly how to set up Asana from scratch with some pro tips and tricks along the way. Okay, so it's no secret that I love Asana. It has been such a game changer for my business and my clients' businesses and has truly transformed the way that we work. It's user-friendly and really allows you to jump right in and start using it. Of course, there are ways to dig deeper and optimize your systems within Asana, but anyone can begin pretty easily. And then the great thing is that Asana is powerful enough to grow with your business with the right strategies in place. So let's go and I'll show you how to get started. Okay, one quick thing before we jump in, I just want to show you something quickly. So when you go to asana.com, I'm going to show you in real time here. So asana.com, you'll see the different price tiers. So let's go to pricing. And I want you to know that the free version is actually really great. It doesn't limit you in the way that most people think. You get unlimited projects, unlimited tasks, and unlimited subtasks. You can truly run your entire business on the free version if you set it up well. And if you're just starting out, it is more than enough. But I am going to show you how to sign up this exact way for the best experience. But I just wanted to show you the different pricing tiers before we get into it. So I am currently on the starter plan. Honestly, do I need it? No. Do I love it? Yes. I actually signed up for it because I had made it my specialty to help people use the free version of Asana to optimize the free version, but people kept coming to me asking me about the paid features. So I ended up signing up with it. And I mean, of course, I do love it. It does allow for more organization, more automations. You can use their forms and things like that. It's really nice and does save time and mental energy in a lot of different ways. But if you are just starting out, and even for like the first few years, and maybe even forever, the free version is probably going to be sufficient for you. And I'm going to show you different ways to optimize it in this video. And I have a bunch of other videos on my channel. Go check it out. Okay, now when you go to asana.com, we're going to click, if we're not even, whether we're on the pricing page or not, we're going to click this get started button up here. And this is where you're going to sign up for Asana. So you can sign up with your Google account or with your email. Now it says work email here. I have had people, I actually signed up with my personal Gmail account previously. But what you want to do is if you have a domain, if you're here, you're likely a business. So you probably do have a domain email address, a professional organization email address. That's what you're going to want to sign up with in this spot here. If you sign up with just a personal Gmail account or an Outlook account or anything like that, you're going to not have as many features because they assume that you're just a person and not a business, if that makes sense. So we want to sign up with our business email to unlock the most features possible on the free plan. Okay, so I already have an account, so I'm going to skip this part, but what you're going to do is enter your email, click continue, enter a password, click continue likely, and then go through. It'll ask you some questions just about your business and stuff. Just go through and answer those, and then go to this next part here. Feel free to pause this video when you are doing that and then hit play again and we'll continue. Oh, and you're going to need to verify your email address before using it too. So head over to your email and do that as well. Okay, and if you have already signed up with a personal email account, if you already have an account and you didn't know about this, what I just said about signing up with a business email, I have previous tutorials where I've shown how to switch from a workspace to an organization. So I'm not going to walk through that whole process in this video, but if you need that, I do have those videos available on my channel that shows you exactly how to switch properly so that you're set up in the right way from the beginning. Okay, but if you sign up in the way I'm showing you here using your business email, you should be good. Okay, so once you are inside, this is your hub. So now you can adjust your notifications, display settings, and yes, turn on extra delights if you want a little celebration when you complete tasks. I always keep mine on. So let me show you how to do that. So here, so down at the bottom, okay, we're in an interesting time right now. I think most people, especially if you're just signing up, you're going to see this exact layout. Some people are still being switched over to this layout if you signed up a few months ago or longer and haven't been switched over yet, but this is how it will be. So if you did sign up previously and you still have the old layout, what I'm showing you down here will be up in this right corner here, okay? But we'll just go with the new layout because I'm assuming that you're signing up from scratch, so you're going to have this new layout. Okay, so we're going to click this down here. This won't be your picture. This will be this will likely show you a couple letters from your email address. So, but we're just going to click in here and we're going to go to settings, and then you'll see all these different tabs up here. Okay, so in profile, you're going to upload your new photo. So I highly recommend that you do upload a photo here, especially if you're working with a team, because it just makes it more personal and it makes everyone feel like they're actually talking to real people instead of just, letters on a screen. And then I encourage you to go through here as well and fill out any of this information. All right, and then the notifications. Now, Asana loves to send a lot of notifications, and I recommend at first going into email notifications and keeping the summaries on if you're trying to get into the habit of making Asana a habit of checking into Asana each day. So I would turn these on, and you'll get email reminders to come into Asana and check in on things. I already have it as a habit. I literally have Asana open all day long. I check it more than I check my email. So I do not need those reminders. But if you do, I highly recommend, again, as you're getting into the habit, having those turned on. And then the next thing I want to show you, remember how I talked about the extra delete? So in here, go in and toggle this extra delete on. That's going to send like narwhals and unicorns flying across your screen as you complete tasks. And it just makes work so much more fun. And it's really satisfying having that go across and like celebrate you as you're getting work done, Okay. And then you're going to click reload to apply changes. Okay. Now I want to tell you a bit about the structure really quickly, because this is where a lot of people do get confused, especially if you're coming from another tool or whatever, because they're all different, right? So Asana has tiers. So if you go into this people section here, you're going to see you're not going to see a list, but for example, once you have things set up, it will be a list like this, but you're going to only see one. It's probably going to say your name, first team. So these are your teams though. The ones with the little people beside, those are going to be your teams. Underneath your teams are your projects. And then in the projects, you have tasks. So these are tasks here. And then in your tasks, you have subtasks. So these are within the task and they are called subtasks. So teams should be the main categories of your business. Think like big buckets, like the main categories. Now, they're called teams because Asana is created for like giant corporations and stuff that have actual like people teams, right? Like separate departments of teams. Whereas us as small business owners, solopreneurs, we're not going to have that. We might have a few team members, but we definitely don't need to separate out our teams in that way. So the way we do it is separate it out by categories. So things like marketing, client work, operations, products, things like that, whatever makes sense for your business. And you can see mine here as an example as well. And if you don't see an option to add teams, if you don't see this plus button here, that is because you signed up with a workspace instead of an organization. Back to that whole thing about signing up with a personal email address versus a business email address. That is one of the limitations for that. So I'll link a video up here, or sorry, I think it's on this side. I'll link a video up here that shows you how to convert your workspace into an organization if you are in that situation. But this is how you are going to add new teams. So like I said, you probably are seeing one team right now, and you're going to start going and creating those big categories, those big buckets in here by clicking this plus button and adding a new team. So here, see, it gives you an example of marketing or design. So, you could do a marketing team. I already have this, so I can't actually create it, but you're going to, if you have any team members to add to this team, you can add them at this point, or you can add them later. It doesn't matter. But if you do know that you're going to want to invite your VA into this team to have access to everything, then you can do that now. And then you're going to click create new team here. and then it's going to create your team. So you're going to go through and do that with all of your categories that you can think of right now. And then inside teams, you create projects. So for example, if I go into my sales and marketing team, I can click this drop down right here where it says create work and create a new team project. So then what you're going to do is just create a blank project up here and start adding your projects within that team. So in your marketing, you're probably going to have your, you saw I have email marketing. So we can add email marketing in here. You can add content calendar, anything that makes sense for you to have under that team. You're going to add it as a new project here, and you're going to click continue once you're done. And again, you can have as many projects as you want or need. So feel free to add as many as you need. And then inside of projects, you create tasks. So as I said, these are all tasks. So the way that you add tasks is a couple different ways. Okay, so I'll show you in a blank project how to add tasks. So you can add it up here with this add task button, and you'll see it just opens up a task for you, and you can call this whatever, create tasks, because that's what we're doing. Create tasks. And then you can also add it in by clicking down here where it says add task. Same thing, create more tasks. And if you're adding like a long list of tasks, or any list at all, doesn't have to be a long list, can be a short list, then as you're adding, you can also click enter and it will go to the next task, just like that. Okay, so that's how you add tasks. And then inside of tasks are subtasks. So you're going to click into here and you'll see this subtasks here, and click this plus, and it's the same process as tasks, just inside of a task. So it's, subtasks. I don't know what else I was going to say. Subcategories to your task categories. I don't know what I was going to say. Okay. So in here, you're going to have add subtasks. Okay. So when it comes to naming, I recommend that you do have like rules or naming conventions for your tasks, and it should be like an action, right? So like these are like, this one wouldn't actually be a good task to have, but these are, because they're like action items. So like what you need to actually do, because you're creating a task, you're adding subtasks. Those are actions, right? Okay, so that's the structure, but I do just want to touch on what every time that you do add a task, I do highly recommend that you give it an assignee and give it a due date, because that's going to ensure that it gets done, because whoever you're assigning it to is going to see it pop up in their My Tasks, which I'll show you in a moment, and know that they have to get that task done. Otherwise, it's just sitting here and you may or may not realize that it's just sitting there not getting done, right? So if it's just you, if you're a solopreneur, go ahead and sign it to yourself with a due date, just like that. And so now it'll pop up for me to do today. So even if you're a solopreneur, you still want to assign it to yourself, because that is going to ensure that it gets done, okay? Because I'm going to show you my tips. You're not going to want to be like in these projects all the time. You're going to want to be in a different spot, and I'll show you that momentarily. But in order to see your tasks, you need to actually assign them to yourself. Okay. And if you are unsure how to organize your whole business in Asana so that you have control over how you really do things and really systemize everything, if this is overwhelming for you at all, you can get my exact templates. They're tested and proven from my currently over 5 years of experience working with business owners, and from my own experience in my business use as well. I'll put the link in the description for you to check that out when you're ready. They are super helpful. Everyone loves them. So I'm just so happy to provide those to you and save you so much time. My systems will seriously change the game for your business. They create efficient work management and ease your stress and save you time. So seriously, go check those out. Okay, next up, I want to talk about adding team members and task basics. So if you're working with a team, you can add team members right inside your teams, right? Or your projects. So I did show you when you're setting up a team, you can add them from that point. Or if you didn't add them then, you can click into your team and you can add the member right here. So click this plus button here and you can add people that way as well. Something to keep in mind is that if someone is added to a team, they can see all projects underneath. However, you can go ahead and add them into just a project. So if you could click up here in the project, then you can add them to the project level, and that way they are limited to that one project within the team, or you can add them to a couple projects within the team, but they don't have access to the entire team. So if you add them to the project level, they just have access to the project. If you add them to the team level, they have access to all the projects underneath the team, okay? Something to keep in mind, because I know that'll probably come up at some point. And of course, you can, again, assign tasks to them, just like I showed you previously. And something else really neat is that you can comment back and forth right inside of tasks. So if you click into this task here, there's the comment option down here. So if your team member, so if I, for example, just tag my husband here and say I need more info on this, and or something like that. So say he assigned me this task and I'm asking for more info. So then I comment, and then he can comment back letting me know that more info. Or it can work if I am assigning this task to my VA and I think of something else that I need to add to it, I can comment that to her to let her know in here. Or if something is missing, I can let her know that in here. And you can comment back and forth as many times as you need, and you will get notifications of those as well. So it's really easy to keep track of. And I'll show you that in a moment as well. Now, one question I get a lot is, can you actually manage a team on the free version? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. You can assign tasks, track progress, comment, manage workflows, all those things. If you're running a small team, the free version is still very powerful. Okay, so now let's talk about my tasks. This is actually one of my favorite features of Asana. So if we go into the work section here, and then my tasks is going to show up right here. So if I click on my tasks, you're going to see that these are all the tasks that are assigned to me. So this is stuff I've assigned myself, stuff that other people have assigned to me. My VA sees the same thing. Anyone on your team is going to have their own My Tasks where they see all of their tasks laid out. A lot of people like to view it as list view. I don't, but you can if you would like. You can also view it as a board view. Sorry, this is taking a moment to load here. So you can view it as list view, you can view it as board view, or you can view it as calendar view. I prefer calendar because I can see how my week is laid out. Also, it's color coded and pretty, but I can see, what's coming up for the week, what's today. I don't know. This way just works better for my brain. So use whichever way works better for yours. But you are going to want to be in My Tasks. Like My Tasks is the spot to stay on top of all the tasks that are assigned to you. And if you ever feel overwhelmed inside Asana, it's usually because you're living in your projects instead of living in My Tasks. This is where everything assigned to you lives, okay, in My Tasks. So it's very important. And you can also organize it however you want. Like I said, you can view it in all the different ways. And calendar view is especially helpful if you're more visual and want to see your week at a glance like I do. Next, I'll show you the inbox. So your inbox shows your notifications about tasks, projects, and conversations that you're following. So anything that you're involved in is going to show here in your inbox. It's kind of like an email inbox, but for managing projects and tasks, right? So in here, you can read your notifications, archive them, respond directly from here. So let me show you an example. So I have some notifications in here. And so if I click in here, you'll see that we do have a conversation going here. So she is working on this task and we're talking about it. She's asking questions about it and I can answer right within here. I don't have to go to the project, to the task. It's all right here in my inbox and I can respond. I can see what she's doing right here inside the inbox. And then once I am done, I am going to archive it so that I know that I've dealt with it. Very important that you do this so that, again, you don't get lost in the weeds of all the inbox stuff that you've already dealt with. You're going to archive it as soon as you have dealt with it, okay? So then everything in your inbox is, and did you see how I did that? It's this little, right here, archive notification. So I can archive this one just like that, okay? And so this way everything that's currently in your inbox needs to be dealt with. And you've dealt with everything else, okay? So the inbox is really great for team management because, as I showed you, you can comment on tasks right from your inbox without having to go digging around. All right, so that's how to sign up for and start using the free version of Asana in 2026. If you want a thorough tutorial on how to actually create and set up a project step by step, you can click here to watch that video next. I'll walk you through it properly so you can build it the right way from the start. And if this was helpful for you, make sure you subscribe because I'm always updating my tutorials as Asana updates. They update a lot. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope this is helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next one.